In this video, I will show you how to build a tour in the new Google Tour Builder. This is a great program that is a combination of Google Slides, Google Earth, and Google Maps, all on steroids. It's pretty intuitive, and I've enjoyed doing a project with my third graders. And I've got some examples of the materials that we use to assemble this tour. In our case, it was about the 7 continents. So I'm going to show you some of the basics, and then later, like how you assemble it, and then how to share it when you're done. So it's important that you prepare your text that's going to go into this project, any video, any photos, in such a way that you can easily access them ahead of time. So you'll want to also organize your slides geographically, because when you do a tour, it will jump, just like in Google Earth, from location to location. And it's probably a better idea. I've seen some tours that zigzag across like the continent or zigzag across the world, and if you have the option to plan it out, then you can make it look a little bit better, as you can see in this little thumbnail. So right now I'm going to create a new tour, and I'll give the name, I'll call it Best Block Continents, because that was kind of the name of the group of kids who came. And I'll say it was Founders. And we'll create our tour. So I'm starting out, it looks similar to like a Google slideshow, whereby you have your first slide and you can add other slides. On your first slide, you can only put one photograph. It says add a photo and some text. So my one photo, I was always hoping that I could grab a photograph, let's say from my Google Drive, because that's where I had originally put all of my photographs, but that's not the case, or at least not yet. So I've got to grab them from a folder on my computer, and I'll grab a picture of the kids right there, and I will use that for my introduction page. And here I'll simply say a tour of the So now I've already got my first introduction. I can choose if I want this to be 3D. That means going down into the Maps version, whereby there are parts of Google Earth that have been constructed in 3D by contributors. I'm going to stick with 2D for now, because I'm just doing the continents from above. And then I can make my path color any color that I want. And so at this point, I think I'm just going to go add another location. And in my first location, I'm going to call it Asia, and ask it to search Asia. And there it goes. So it plops, a pin right where Asia is. And if I want to zoom in, the location that I zoom into is the area that it's going to save. So if I stay zoomed out, I'm going to get a map that looks like that, showing me the whole world. If I zoom in, I'm going to get just Asia. I say add to tour, and it's allowing me now to add up to 25 photographs or videos if there were a reason that I would need to say when I was in Asia, or maybe I was chronicling a trip. That's where the dates come in. And then as far as like the text for this location, I'm going to go back to a Google slideshow that I worked with the children to get information about each of the continents. So I'm going to copy and paste what they did right into my Google Tour Builder. So I'm going to go back and toggle back and then paste it in. And as for photos and videos, again, I was hoping to be able to interface with Google Drive. That's not the case. So I've created a folder on my computer, and I have prepared ahead of time and named all of my photographs so that they're grouped together and they're easy to select and grab. And I'll pull that in. It loads pretty efficiently, as you can see. I'll select it. So now when I get to my Asia portion of my Google tour, I will have 5 pictures that are arranged almost like a slideshow that my viewers can toggle through. It's something that is an interactive piece of this software that they can toggle through it. So now I'm going to add another location, and this time it's going to be Australia, and I can actually put in 2 slides of Australia, or I could do that anywhere anyway, because it's going to basically add an extra step to stop looking by looking at the continent, and then I could dive deeper and say I might end up going to say the Sydney Opera House. So I'm going to add another location, and I'm going to call it Sydney Opera House. Oops. And that'll look like it's another location, but in my case I'm going to zoom in a little bit farther. I'm going to grab my Google Guy and see if there's any places where he's been, so that we can actually get awesome street view. So this, when I add to tour, will be the image that's going to show for that slide, that second slide of Australia, which is the Sydney Opera House. So we will add another location, and this time I'm going to call it Africa, and I'm expecting to see the whole continent. So it brings me over to Africa. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a whole continent view. It's just taking a little while to load. All right, that's working for me. So here I have Africa zoomed in to the degree that I want it to be zoomed in, and when I do that I can add to tour, add my photos and videos, again from a folder on my computer, and I have a feeling that these kiddos didn't have Africa pictures. So I'll have to do something else, and that would be maybe going to more and search for images. You want to be mindful of giving attribution, but for the sake of this demonstration I'm just going to type in Africa, and sure enough I think that picture I like is this one, and then I can hold my control button and grab a bunch of others. This one, and this one, and say select, and that's a great way of getting images in there. Again, attribution is something you'll want to pay attention to so you can do the right thing and give credit where credit is due. So back to my slideshow where the kids had populated their information. I'm going to grab the information and copy it, go back to my tour builder, paste it in. So you're starting to get the idea that we are adding different locations. My final location is going to be Europe. I know I'm not covering all the continents, but I want to be mindful of your time. So if I click on Europe and then search, it's placing me in Poland, which is fine, except I think I want to zoom in just a little bit. Like maybe that. And that's the view that I want to be added to the location that my map reaches when I click on the slide for Europe. And my photos and videos, I can upload them and see what the kids have captured for that. And they've captured these 6 or 5, no 6. So I'll pull those into my slideshow at my stop in Europe. And once it loads, I can select. And then again, I can go back to the slideshow that I had made with the kids and grab some basic information based on the research that they did and paste it in. So let's just assume that we've done all 7 continents, and when you're done editing you simply say done editing, and it looks pretty nice, and you simply go to share. So I'm going to click on share. I can grab the link, Control C to grab that link. If you're curious, you can go into an incognito window, paste that link, and your tour comes up. Of course it's going to ask you to log in. I didn't think that was the case, but we'll look into that. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't change the permissions to anybody with the link. So you'll have to do that to change the permissions to anyone with the link can view it, and then you can share that link with anybody. And so then, again, you would just be going next and next and next and go to each location. In this case, we're jumping down into Sydney to my street view. And once that completely opens, I'm going to be able to look at my pictures here on the left. Looks like I may have asked it to do a lot with all that jumping around. So you get the idea. I hope you really enjoy this tool. I've really enjoyed it a lot too, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Google or where Google takes it.